Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum. Ji ayanum. Pakhair agale. Ni hao. Chune shume. Washmale. Ohio Gonzaimes. Guten Morgen. Hola. Bonjour. Privyet. Kaifa hal. Hale shuma chatore. Ahlan wa sahlan. Marhaba. Buna. Mucho. Gracias. And a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning alongside Shahzad Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, we definitely hope and pray that everybody out there is doing perfectly fine. You're at the best of your health and you're ready to kickstart your day with us. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very important day for the entire Muslim Ummah all over the globe. And it is because of the fact that today is Jumatul Wada, which in English can be actually translated as the Friday of Farewell as well, where we bid farewell to the month of Holy Ramadan, where we got the chance of cleansing our souls and, you know, obviously it gave us a chance of salvation too. But then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, Ramadan actually reminds us of being peaceful, of being kind, of being humane throughout the year, not just for 30 days. And that's what it is. And since the Jumatul Wada actually marks the Eid al-Fitr as well, which is going to be in the following week. So we definitely hope and pray that everybody is fine. They're superb out there. And to get started with our day today, ladies and gentlemen, we have done some, we have taken some amazing measures. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to start our day today with 100 different names of Allah Almighty, because He's Shakur, He's Rahim, He's Kareem, He's Ghafoor, and you know, you can keep on going. So first of all, we're going to kickstart with that, and then we'll come down to listening to a few naats, and then we'll move on towards in the second half, where we want to talk about entrepreneurship, and then we have, very sorry, just a little bit of sore throat. It can happen during the live shows as well. And then in the second segment, we're going to build up on entrepreneurship and then initiating change, which I think is very important. So for all of those people who are tuned in from 46 different countries, I think that it's going to be a good ride today. Jumatul Wada it is. For everybody who's out there, please remember us in your prayers. Please make sure to take our names. My name is Shahzad. My producer's name is Jamshed. And you know, there are a lot of people, our cameramen, the entire team, the MCR team as well, everybody out there. Please make sure to remember us all in your prayers. So on my right-hand side, to do the honors, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Miss Maryam Amin. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
Thank you very much for joining us alongside Maryam. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Miss Rimsha Amin. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
And I just figured it out that both of them are sisters. Aap dono behne?
जी बिल्कुल.
Zabardast, mashallah. बहुत शुक्रिया आने के लिए. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Hafiz Jabir Hussain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much for joining us. Hafiz sahab, we're going to get started with you. So you're going to share with us 100 different names of Allah Almighty. Please go ahead. Let's get started today.
Allah, 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 Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, Al-Mu'min, Al-Muhaymin, Al-Aziz, Al-Jabbar, Al-Mutakabbir, Al-Khaliq, Al-Bari, Al-Musawwir, Al-Ghaffar, Al-Qahhar, Al-Wahhab, Al-Razaq, Al-Fattah, Al-Alim. Allah, 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 Allah. ये दुनिया एक समंदर है मगर साहिल मदीना है। ये दुनिया एक समंदर है मगर साहिल मदीना है। ये दुनिया एक समंदर है मगर साहिल मदीना है, हर एक मौजे बला की राह में हाय मदीना है। और ज़माना धूप है और छाँव है, बस एक बस्ती में। ज़माना धूप है और छाँव है, बस एक बस्ती में। ये दुनिया जल के बुझ जाती मगर शामिल मदीना है। और शरफ मुझको भी हासिल है मोहम्मद की गुलामी का। शरफ मुझको भी हासिल है मोहम्मद की गुलामी का। वो मेरे दिल, वो मेरे दिल, वो मेरे दिल में रहते हैं, मेरा दिल भी मदीना है। वो मेरे दिल में रहते हैं, मेरा दिल भी मदीना है। और करम इतना करम इतना है फखरी उनकी ज़ाते पाक का मुझ पर। करम इतना है फखरी उनकी ज़ाते पाक का मुझ पर। मैं इतनी दूर, मैं इतनी दूर, मैं इतनी दूर हूँ लेकिन मुझे हासिल मदीना है। मैं इतनी दूर हूँ लेकिन मुझे हासिल मदीना है। ये दुनिया एक समंदर है मगर साहिल मदीना है। हर एक मौजे, हर एक मौजे, हर एक मौजे बला की राह में हाय मदीना है।
Jazakallah, बहुत खूबसूरत. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you listen to a naat, it is a very soul enriching experience, and we definitely hope that for all of those people who are tuned into PT World today are having that soul enriching experience amongst us as well. I mean, it is beautiful. बहुत खूबसूरत, बहुत उम्दा. लेकिन एक सवाल मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ और वो सवाल ये है कि कितने अरसे से आप जो है वो नात ख्वानी कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि बहुत आपको कमाल हासिल है.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अल्लाह का फजल व करम है बेताशा कि अल्लाह ताला ने इस पुरफितन दौर में अपना और अपने हबीब के ज़िक्र के लिए चुना.
माशाल्लाह,
ये मैं अपने लिए बड़ी सादत समझता हूँ. और इसके साथ साथ जब मैं क्लास 5 में था तो एक मेरे टीचर थे, अल्लाह ताला उनको गरीक़ रहमत करे, वो दुनिया से चले गए हैं. और ये भी एक सदका जारिया होता है कि जब इंसान किसी दूसरे बंदे को किसी अच्छे काम पर लगा के जाए, तो मैं उनके लिए दुआगो हूँ कि अल्लाह ताला उन्हें जन्नतुल फ़िरदौस में आला वरफ़ा मक़ाम अता फ़रमाए. 5वीं क्लास में था जब मैंने ये नात शरीफ पढ़ना शुरू की, तो उन्होंने मुझे मोटिवेट किया। उन्होंने कहा भाई आपकी आवाज़ अच्छी है तो आप नात पढ़ लें। तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह पहली दफ़ा ही प्राइवेट एसोसिएशन स्कूलों की थी हमारे रावलपिंडी में, तो उसमें पार्टिसिपेट मैंने किया और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह उसी वक्त टीचर्स ने अच्छा मोटिवेट किया था, अच्छी तरबियत की थी, तो उसी में पहली दफ़ा ही और पहली पोजीशन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हासिल की।
माशाल्लाह, जज़ाकल्लाह, बहुत खूबसूरत, बहुत उम्दा, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलके। और अब हम आते हैं जो दोनों बहनें जो हैं जो हमारे पास मौजूद हैं। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस, इट्स वंडरफुल टू हैव यू एंड आई हैव रिक्वेस्टेड देम टू रीड नात व्हिच इज़ वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट्स एंड द नेम ऑफ द नात इज़ शाह मदीना एज वेल। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड।
शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना, तैबा के वाले सारे नबी तेरे दर के सवाली, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना। तूने जहाँ की महफिल सजाई, तारीकियों में शम्मा जलाई, तारीकियों में शम्मा जलाई, हर सिमत छाई, हर सिमत छाई, खुशबू निराली सारे नबी तेरे दर के सवाली, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना। तूने जहाँ की महफिल सजाई, तारीकियों में शम्मा जलाई, तारीकियों में शम्मा जलाई, फूलों ने तेरी, फूलों ने तेरी खुशबू चुरा ली सारे नबी तेरे दर के सवाली, शाहे मदीना, शाहे मदीना।
Subhanallah, Jazakallah. Thank you very much for being with us. It was wonderful to have you and I think that you guys did a great job. And यहाँ पर मौजूद ख़वातीन और हज़रात इन दोनों के मेरे ख्याल वालिदैन भी यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं, तो मैं आप लोगों का बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि आप लोगों ने वक्त निकाला, सुबह सुबह हमारे प्रोग्राम में शामिल हुए. Thank you very much for being with us. It was wonderful to have you on the show. And I think that that was the perfect start to Jummatul Wida, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember us all in your prayers. We're going for a short break. Don't go anywhere, because when you guys will come back, we're going to talk about initiating change and entrepreneurship. Let's do it. Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you're watching World This Morning alongside Shahzad Khan. Earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, when we initiated with the program, I told you that it's Jumatul Wada, or probably referred to as the Friday of the Farewell. I mean, that's what it is, because we're bidding farewell to the holy month of Ramadan. We started the program with 100 different names of Allah, who's actually our creator as well, and then moving on towards Naat, where we actually say beautiful things about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But now I think it's this half is actually about the people who are out there, and I think that everybody actually needs to take a notebook as well, because we have got some very apt guests over here in the studios who are actually going to let us know about entrepreneurship. Now, my take on entrepreneurship, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great thing. I think it is the most commonly used word in the 21st century as well. It's a little stigmatized, and why? There's something which I would love to explain, and that is that, you know, for people who've actually taken admissions in their universities, I think this is the first word which the teachers will actually teach them, that, you know, it's an era of entrepreneurship. Everybody needs to create more jobs rather than looking for jobs and businesses and whatnot. Now, you know, as a student, everybody wants to be a businessman or a business lady as well. You know, they want to earn a lot of money, but it's not as easy as as I've said it. I mean, easier done than that too as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we talk about entrepreneurship, I think that we particularly do not provide all of those people with the platform or with the exact basic information which is actually going to help them to survive within the market. Now, our research says that, you know, 80% of the startups will fail within the first 2 years because of the fact that they haven't copied the same business, what do we call it, the same business process, or probably replicated the same business process, which is the reason why they fail. So they say that 1% of people all over the globe gets the genuine idea. The other 90% or 99% have actually just have to copy them into their regions geographically, and things are going to work out. Now, whenever we talk about entrepreneurship, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the one thing which is actually related with that is being out of the box. Now, what is being out of the box? I mean, for people who are living a normal, ordinary life, how do you think that they can be out of the box if they haven't got the exposure of the international market? For that, a lot of traveling is required. For that, a lot of mentoring is required. For that, a lot of teaching is required. For that, a lot of case studies need to be read. You need to be well read too as well. There are different things to that, but we've got some very amazing guests who, within their own lives, have actually set an example of being an amazing entrepreneur, or probably how to guide people to do that too as well. Because, and then the one thing which I think has worked out for me, because I've opened up my own production houses, I've opened up my own property offices, and a lot of different ventures. I've been selling cell phones. I mean, so I've been a man. I mean, people can actually say that, you know, I'm jack of all trades, master of none. But now that's not what the case is, because I am master of whatever I'm doing right now. But other than that, I think that everybody needs to plan things up. It is very necessary to put things on the paper, write them down, you know, short-term goals, long-term goals, and then go for it. And even if it does not work out, you know, what you need to do is probably, you know, just shut that down, think about something else, come up with a newer idea and start working on that. Even if that doesn't work, come up with another idea, and one day you will definitely be there. So to talk about all of those things, and then at the same time talking about initiating change, which I think is very difficult, and at the same time imperative to be a successful being, ladies and gentlemen. To discuss all of this, on my right hand side, I've been joined by somebody who actually traveled from UK. Thank you very much for making your way to PTV World Studios today in Islamabad. He's the MBE strategy. He's none other than Mr. Ashfaq Malik. He's an analyst himself. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you? Good morning.
Wa alaikum assalam, Shahzad. It's lovely to be here. I'm delighted. Thank you for the lovely reception. And I really enjoyed the Naat this morning. Very inspiring, especially as it's the last Friday of Ramadan.
Exactly.
So a lovely day to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. And since I knew that today I'm going to be talking about business and entrepreneurship, so first, initially when I woke up, I thought that, you know, I'm going to wear a shalwar kameez. And then I thought that, okay, you know, my guests might not even be ready to wear shalwar kameez because they'll be talking about businesses. And I'm glad that I took this decision of being semi-formal. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody who's very young. I think he's got 4 or 5 years of experience of writing. He's a poet himself. You know, this is what I've read about you on your LinkedIn profile too as well. He's a writer for Diplomat. And then he's the youth ambassador for what? This is something which we'll ask him. He's none other than Mr. Hanan Hussain. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wonderful, fantastic.
Thank you
so
very much
for
for joining us. It's wonderful to have you on the show. And the first thing which I read about him, ladies and gentlemen, that he's been writing for a lot of different newspapers. So what have you gained from writing for newspapers so far?
Well, it's pretty simple. It allows you to kind of study the market dynamics across different geographical regions as well.
Yeah.
I think expression is a great part of entrepreneurship. When you want your idea to sell at some point, you really need to be cognizant of, aware of the kind of audience that you're dealing with.
Exactly.
I think international platforms and my journey to get over there for 4.5 years was also marked by persistence. You really need to keep knocking on that door until, you know, things just kind of shape out. Studying the factors that make out experienced writers' work stand out. I mean, you know, it's a society where it wouldn't be wrong to frame that age dictates stature most of the time. To kind of reverse that cycle, this kind of helped me. And then with regard to your previous reference, it was the youth ambassador to United We Reach. We are a Silicon-based global technology nonprofit.
Wow.
I'll let you in on more of that in just a while. So yeah.
I think that's great, and it's wonderful to have you over here too as well. And for somebody who's too young and who's achieved so much in that little time, I just wanted to know, so that door you've been knocking on, are you still, did you get the answer, or is it still like, oh, who's there? You know, so where do you think you are?
I think I have, alhamdulillah, gone beyond that door about 2.5 years ago. This was The Diplomat. It is concentrated in the Washington, edited out of Tokyo and London. Became the youngest writer over there. Kind of touched on the economics of Southeast Asia as well as Pakistan's economic foreign policy.
Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, you know, it was as if the kind of work that is supposed to be out there is obviously that's going to be credited to your name only when you're able to promise that same product, that same research that they kind of expect from people who have command over it.
Wow.
So one thing that kind of proved to me, and that's the kind of message I'd like to extend to the Pakistani audience, is that when you have persistence and when you're ready to study your competition, whether in entrepreneurship or writing, you're halfway there.
I think that's great. So Ashfaq Saab, will get started with you. So first things first, I think entrepreneurship starts from initiating change. From where you're actually bored of your life, you want to do something amazing, you want to fulfill all your wishes and dreams, and you want to give back to the society. How do we do that?
I think it's looking, certainly since I've been in Pakistan now, when I look around and I just see so much potential in Pakistan.
Where is this potential? I mean, I'm sorry, but I've, you know, since we're a morning show, we're non-political, but I so want to know, where is this potential? Because every time, you know, ever since I was growing up, everybody I'll meet, oh, beta, you have so much potential. Oh, son, you're going to do something great. Oh, he's going to be a man of his words. I mean, where is all that? Where is the potential?
If I'm not wrong, we have a population here where 60% of the population, which is around 200 million people in Pakistan,
and more than that,
are of working age. The majority of those are under 35 years old. Now, when you speak about change, change comes from the new generation. The people that are already working in a particular environment, to ask them to change is a big ask. But to get the younger generation to move with the times, adopt new technology, use social media, look at new ways of working, that's where I get energized by talking to the youth of Pakistan. And I hear this, I've been here for 4 months now. It's the longest time I've spent in Pakistan for quite a long time. So I spent a lot of time with IT professionals, and they are so skillful. They are so there with where IT is in Pakistan now, is at the same level in any European country. But IT is at a very high level. The standard of IT knowledge is at a high level as well.
I'm just going to compare it. I'm sorry that I have to do this comparison, ladies and gentlemen, but this is an eye-opener for all those Pakistanis, because recently, you know, there has been speculation about it as well. So our IT industry, ladies and gentlemen, stands at $1 billion only. The sole reason I'm saying that is that just across the border, the IT industry stands at $100 billion.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
I mean, what makes you think that we're doing the right thing?
Look at the inspiration. You know, look at the inspiration. We're at 100 billion. We're 1 billion. They're at 100 billion. So there's the potential there for a start.
But we're not fulfilling that potential.
We're not fulfilling that because I think what we have to do is give young people confidence in fairness. I think there's been successive, I know we're not a political program, but there's been successive governments there. And I think what people are looking for is some stability. If they had some stability, a firm foundation, they can build on that. Secondly, I've noted that there's lots of individuals working as individuals.
Yeah.
And if you were to look at how the big companies in the US, in the UK, across Europe, how did they actually get together? They got together as a team.
I'm going to come back to this individual aspect. I'm going to come back to this. But I'm going to move on to Mr. Hanan over here because he actually mentioned about him writing about economies as well.
Yeah.
So now, first things first, let's pick up on the economy where, Ashfaq sir very rightfully said that, we actually need to give them the platform, which needs to be very stable. Now, with exchange rates fluctuating, with prices fluctuating, we do not have any kind of stability at this point of time within Pakistan. I'm sorry to say that, but this is my opinion, and I think that I need to be honest with my job as well. And this is how it is, and the world knows it. How do you think that this is the right time for anybody to invest money within Pakistan?
I think thinking from an outside perspective, it wouldn't exactly be the wisest option.
Yeah.
But let's just narrow that macro level thought down to the citizen level. When you talk about entrepreneurship, I think it's really important that the kind of research that we do, the kind of product or idea that we think of, has an end user.
Yeah.
You could be thinking about the most impeccable product that there is around, but there's not enough traction, not enough, you'd say, not enough conducive kind of force with the kind of people that you're trying to reach out to.
Yeah.
It's never really going to work out. So that's one criteria where you need to work out. I can speak on that confidently because times weren't absolutely fantastic about a year or two back.
Yeah.
And that is the exact time when I kind of initiated the first ever I managed the first ever sentiment analysis program of this Pakistan-based tech firm called Her Domain. The idea was to empower women. Again, another cliche, but the idea was that if you empower women with the kind of skills, below the poverty line women, with the kind of skills that will help them analyze what markets are looking for. So sentiment analysis is like, I have access to your rigorous social media data.
Yeah.
I can use that to kind of analyze what kind of sentiments or emotions do you hold towards a particular product, and what adjustments can I make to kind of make that.
So in-depth research.
Yeah, in-depth research, personalized research.
Yeah.
So by giving underprivileged girls those kind of skills, we were able to increase their marketability within the same economy.
Wow, that's good.
Okay, so the idea is to create that end-to-end user sort of a relationship. I'm glad you mentioned the 1 billion and 100 billion sort of a divide. Just across the border, there's no harm in acknowledging that. We need to, the first step towards solving a problem is to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So the city of Bangalore, contributes to a whole chunk of that 100 billion sort of a thing. So for Pakistan to kind of match up to that, it's really important that we identify niche based on the audience, not exactly based on trends that have been tested in the past. Entrepreneurship changes, there's a lot of risk attached. Awareness is one thing, but when you have end users and when you really need to kind of lift things up from the grassroots, I think that's where we could really sow the seeds of entrepreneurship, even within an economy that is not in its best shape.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the same time, I think that since I studied business as well, for whatever I think Hanan has actually said it very correctly that you actually need to think about whatever idea, but it needs to be relatable for the end user too as well. And then at the same time, I think that the in-depth research needs to be done about the culture. Because over here in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, a product which does not actually align with our culture cannot actually be seen within your household. I think this is one perspective. So everybody needs to understand that. But now coming back to Ashfaq sir over here, where you were actually talking about that so far what you've witnessed is that people behave as individuals over here. There's no teamwork. And I'm going to give you one reason, and then what you have to do is that you actually have to come back with a defense, okay?
Okay.
So now over here in Pakistan, I'm sorry to say that, but even, I mean, I don't know whether I should say it or not, okay, but I'm going to say it. So the person who actually works at my place aspires to be a prime minister one day as well. Okay. And that's how it is for everybody. Everybody out there thinks that everybody can do everything.
Yes.
And the sole reason why they are so individual within their lives is because of the fact that we as Pakistanis were not taught how to be a team. And every now and then, if probably I'm going to get like 15,000 rupees of profit somewhere else or an increase in the salary, I'm going to leave the previous one, go to another one. We are never taught like that. We do not have that culture of being in a team or sacrificing for the team or for a greater cause, for a longer run. We do not do that. And I have gone through that since I mentioned about the production house. You know, I've had people who were working under me, and then I would tell them, you know, please go and, you know, ask for these prices. They'll come back, the prices would be different to as in what I checked. So how do you think that we can trust people like that?
I think teamwork is so important, I think.
Everybody knows that,
everybody
but how
knows
to
this.
do that? How
well,
to
I
do
think
that?
it starts at a very early age, in fairness. I'll be honest with you. I was talking to Hanan before we came on. It's education. And I think the viewers will be sick and tired of hearing about education. But the Pakistani system, the education system needs to be joined up. And it needs to be joined up from the age of 5. So from the age of 5, we need to instill in young people the benefits of teamwork. And then this goes throughout completing education at the age of 18. And a good example that I've seen here in Pakistan is the military, for example. The military works on a meritocracy, and there's a team involved in the military. Not everybody in the military is a general. There must be about 80 different branches or trades, but they all know they're working towards a common aim. They know they're working within a hierarchy, and they know what their place is in that team.
Because they have made sure that they actually have an institution.
And this is when they go through initial officer training or they go through basic recruit training. It's instilled on them the benefits of working together as a team. And in my time here, this time, I've met so many talented individuals, and I've introduced them to each other. Because you really need to speak to him, and he needs to speak to you.
Okay, you know what?
And they think I'm an alien because they think, what's he doing?
I'm glad that you said it, but you know, I think since the last decade, so it's been 10 years that I've been working in television industry, ladies and gentlemen. And for everybody whom I made sure that they actually need to see somebody else, once they started seeing themselves, I think that, you know, I was the one who was a forgotten horse. You know, so that's how it was. And that's how it is. But I think you've raised a very important point. You know, it's about institutions. You know, you talked about armed forces.
As an example.
They have this amazing rule, all for one, one for all. But now how difficult is it for everybody to understand their role within a team? For example, let's talk about American football. The quarterback knows what to do, you know. There are people with their precise roles. I mean, let's talk about cricket. Even within our cricket team, our middle order does not understand the role of what they are supposed to do while they're on the pitch. So how do you think that we are going to get this sentiment out that we need to work together?
If you have a team, you need to have a...
How to build a team, I think, is the question.
Building a team is looking at the skill set you need, and it's going back to what Hanan said earlier. You need to identify the end user. What is this team going to be set up for? So that's the first stage. You've now got an aim, you've got an objective, you've got an aim, you've got a goal. Now you need to put in an inspiration leader. So the leader will be the person in charge of the team. He should be able to command the respect of the whole team. Then each member of that team must know clearly what their position is. And that's where you would really create a dynamic situation where everybody feels as if they are contributing positively to the team. And their contribution and the way they're treated as equals as well. And I think that's the important thing. You know, the quietest person in the team has as much to contribute as the loudest person. But as long as they all know what their place is. And then the leader needs to be, you know, a wise person, an inspirational leader who can see what the strengths are of the different team members and how they can contribute to the team. And there's so many tools available to build a team. There's something called the Belbin team roles, where these are natural abilities that you have. You don't necessarily need to go to university or college or any leadership classes. These are things that you as Shahzad Khan can do naturally. You don't even have to think about those. So wouldn't it be good to be in a team where you are valued for being who you are? Rather than going off and getting a degree or an MBA or an MBA, etc. It's just you. You have this natural ability to do something, perhaps connecting people. So we need that person in the team. Another person is analytical. We need that person. Another person is good at writing. We need that person. Another person is creative. So now you can see the makings of a dynamic team.
Okay, that's great, but I want Hanan to, you know, to give us a little feedback on this too as well. I am not sure whether how many of you have watched this amazing season with the name of Suits. Have you? Okay, so it's on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. But, I'm going to quote an example over here. So, Harvey, being such an amazing lawyer, made sure that one day he will be a partner and his name will be on the wall. That's what everybody wants within a business.
Yes.
But that's unfortunately cannot be done with every individual. So how do we strike a balance?
So the onus falls on making education individualized. I think there are a lot of job takers, there are not enough job makers.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a divide between the kind of education system that we're promoting, and it has to be industry specific.
Yeah.
You gave a cricket example as well. How do you make a team that hasn't been performing really well, has the unpredictable title?
That's how we do it every time.
Yeah, actually become consistent. It is when they face circumstantial pressure.
Yeah.
When you know you're coming up in a semi-final, things are actually going to happen and there's no room for error, so you kind of tend to mediate yourself before that, and we saw it in the Champions Trophy. So with regard to education, I think the entrepreneurial style of education is to start from grade 4 or grade 3.
Exactly.
Even before, I'll give you an example. The tech firm that I represent, United We Reach, we have kind of studied 100 of the world's leading education systems over 3 years, kind of incorporated the strengths, mathematics from Singapore, deductive logic from Finland and all of that, and consolidated that into a partnership with the government of Punjab.
Wow.
To kind of upgrade public schools. What that does is, you look at these children, and we have facilities all over, they are practicing deductive logic from grade 1.
Wow.
They don't exactly memorize definitions, they create their own through experimental logic. Again,
applied.
Yeah, applied knowledge. And from the law of gravity to the use of 5 senses, it's all there.
Wow.
What that does is, because they're known and taught to kind of take initiative from grade 1, by the time they reach grade 12, they'll have the same drive that someone in the West does as well.
Exactly.
And that is something that kind of fills in this void. Just earlier you mentioned the example of the military, and it was endorsed here as well. Meritocracy matters a lot. And when you apply those kind of merits towards the practical system, it's really important that you're also conducive to evolving, getting other views and stuff. And that kind of calls for an elimination of that hierarchy that you were visibly promoting a while ago. So you kind of need to shuffle between this balance. I think the leader needs to hold himself to question. And the idea is, if you have a 60% youth bulge, even if you could instill this kind of deductive logic, entrepreneurial instincts from grade 1, using, tech-based reforms, I think, we're doing this nation a favor.
I think wonderfully said, ladies and gentlemen. But before wrapping this up, there's this one simple question for both of you. So each one of you can take 30 seconds. Okay. So for all of those people who are out there, who we think that, have taken inspiration from us today, which areas do you think will be the best grossing areas in days to come as well in terms of business investments?
I think a unified education approach.
Okay.
I think that is an investment in the future of Pakistan, making sure we have a good solid base of education. And then I personally think IT is a growth area, because it has many
There are
aspects.
no taxes for that.
Yeah, all right. There's many aspects to IT.
Yeah.
And it's available to everybody with the internet and the growth of broadband in Pakistan as well. So it's accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
And you can learn so much of it online as well. So you don't have to go to a special school, you don't have to pay any fees. You can learn it online. And just sitting in front of a computer and learning a computer language or learning web design, these are growth areas, I feel. And the high-tech arena is going to pay dividends for Pakistan in the future.
Amazing. That's great. Hanan, what about you?
I think the two things, one would be, again, an entrepreneurial education style. I think that's beneficial for both the leaders that we want to produce, as well as those who wish to initiate that. And secondly, there has been, I covered this for the diplomat as well, there has been growing traction in Pakistan's microfinance sector. We've seen that from Telenor as well. And then, of course, having a telecommunication industry, the people in the villages and the rural areas kind of benefit from microcredit as well. So it kind of encapsulates the entire hierarchy of social stratas in Pakistan. More investment in that is conducive. And that, coupled with a nice entrepreneurial education instincts reforms, that is, I think we have, kind of done enough to sow the roots of the change we wish to see.
Very wisely said. Thank you very much for being with us, gentlemen. It was wonderful to have you, and it was wonderful to listen to such amazing sane things early in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. But before wrapping it up, there's this one small example which I've always used within my life, and I've always made sure that, I'll stand by it, and that is, take life as one single day every day. I mean, this is what everybody needs to do. Please make sure that, because I used to do it with my own self, imagine with my own businesses, which I do now, alhamdulillah. So all I had to do was just take one single day at a time and work that day and make sure that, when I go back home, I'll talk to myself and I tell myself that, you know, whether what I did, what I wanted to do, or what I wanted to achieve. If I haven't, you know, it's going to be a bad night's sleep, but if I did, it was a good night's sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, never be afraid of failure. People who are afraid of failure, or people who are afraid of swimming, can never learn swimming. Please make sure to remember all of this. Always be ready to take a risk, but obviously you cannot actually measure the depth of the river with both legs in it. Just put one in it, okay? So in case if you cannot touch the ground, you can probably come out better. I mean, that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Life is very simple. Start with small business ideas. You do not really have to invest a lot of money, and then eventually when it starts to pick up, reinvest. This is very important. People, when they start earning, they start spending on luxuries as well. This is where Warren Buffett actually says that if you are actually going to spend on things which you might not require, you'll have to sell those things for necessities to be fulfilled as well. Thank you very much for being with us. It was wonderful to have you. For everybody out there, today is Jumatul Wada. Please make sure to remember us all in your prayers. Look after yourselves. Do write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Daily Motion and YouTube, it's World This Morning. The fabulous repeat is going to be at 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3, good morning. Thank you very much.